Well, hello there, monsters, and welcome to episode 2 of The House of Delusion, a podcast where we delve into the latest news, rumors, and theories in the world of Lady Gaga. My name is Billy Bomber, and I'm joined today by my co-host Cal.
Hi everyone, hopefully I no longer sound like I'm beaming in from Antarctica, thanks to the wonderful crowdfunding, in air quotes, of, people on the server, and from listeners I now have an actual mic. So hopefully I will no longer sound quite as awful as I did in the first episode.
We are also joined by a special guest today, the owner of the House of Delulu Discord server. Everyone, welcome Bling.
Hey y'all, it's your favorite problematic tea spiller, and today, baby, the tea is piping hot. We're breaking down all the rumors, all the theories, and all the flop insiders. Yes, you, River, and Ride or Die.
We originally invited Bling to the podcast to explain the various LG7 theories in greater detail. However, he has some exclusive information to share with us in regards to LG7 today.
Yeah, you love it, baby.
So I know there have been a ton of rumors lately, and it's been exhausting that we still know next to nothing. But you will be happy to know that one of these rumors happens to be true. But that's not my place to say today. So let's quickly wrap up this intro so we can get on to the juicy bits.
That's right.
Hey guys, before we dive in, I quickly want to invite you to our Discord server. Just go to discord.xyz/House of Delulu. That's HAUSOFDELULU. Also, our podcast has an Instagram account now. You can follow me there for podcast updates by searching for bomber.billy. Anyway, on with the show.
So the first item on the docket today is an update on the Jazz and Piano show in Las Vegas. Since we last recorded, Gaga has performed 2 nights in Las Vegas, Wednesday the 19th of June and Thursday the 20th of June. We're going to be going over both nights and see what's different from prior shows and any hints she might have given. On Wednesday night, she predictably changed the set list from prior legs of the Jazz and Piano show. We'll get into exactly what changed in the set list a little bit later. The first thing I want to talk about is her hair was black and blonde, which is a combination we've not really seen her do since the Born This Way era over 10 years ago. And there's actually a video on TikTok. The user's name is Empire of Gaga. And this user took a video of someone at the first concert on Wednesday basically yelling, "Born This Way here!" Right before she sang Born This Way at the piano. And Gaga heard this individual, and she paused and responded, "Oh, somebody noticed." And so I don't know how relevant that is. It's either relevant to one of the set list changes we'll get to, or it could be something bigger. Bling, what do you think?
It's for sure relevant. As someone who experienced the Born This Way era in real time, you can have your own opinions about the wig and the look itself, but it was definitely 100% referencing the Born This Way era, for sure.
And why do you think she would have chosen to do Born This Way hair? Like, what is she trying to hint at?
I mean, hello, Bloody Mary went viral, Heavy Metal Lover, the Gen Z and Gen Alpha are eating up the dark bops, honey.
Right, yes, like I mentioned last time. And Judas, too, recently.
Even more interesting than the wig is Gaga Daily user Ate My Brain shouted out LG7 while she was at the piano earlier that night, to which Gaga giggled and cryptically said, "Not tonight." So what do we think "not tonight" means?
I think the way she said "not tonight" is important. She said it in a kind of playful, hinty way, right? "Not tonight," as opposed to if she had said it "not tonight," like kind of curt and strict. That would have implied, shut up. But this was very playful. And I guess until today, we didn't really know if that indicated, a single announcement, either what is yesterday at the time of recording or today at the time of recording. And of course, both are false. So it's kind of ambiguous as to what she really meant.
Later in the evening, she stated, "Pray for me. I don't need any prayers. I'm going to hell." During the course of the show, which obviously is notable to the hell theory and references that I'll get to in a bit. It should also be noted that during the filming of Joker, Harley is going up the stairs, a woman shouts, "You're going to hell," and Harley walks back like the bisexual she is and kisses the protester and says, "Now we both are." What do you guys think?
I mean, for me, it kind of begs the question of how intertwined LG7 and the Joker Folie de rollouts will be. I mean, we don't really have that many clips of Joker Folie de. We just have the one trailer right now and then some sneaky fan shots and video recordings as well, which is where this comes from. We're not supposed to know this line exists yet. So this is where I'm getting a little delulu by even trying to indicate that Joker and LG7 are intertwined in any way, but that's also where our current timeline kind of is pointing at.
You know, it's not Delulu, though. There have been multiple hints, which we'll get to in a minute, that Joker and LG7 could be linked. There's some Prince connections. Prince did an album intertwined with the Batman soundtrack. So you are Delulu, but you're not being that Delulu in this sense.
And like you said, it is darkness again.
Yeah.
We know Joker's dark, LG7. Like you said, people want darkness. Maybe all this darkness intertwines.
The most exciting part of the setlist change for me was Gaga sang Americano, which was the 5th track on Born This Way, and she last sang it in 2013 or 2012. So as soon as she started, the entire crowd just went buck wild. It was insane. And I was watching a live stream of the first show, and I went buck wild, laying in bed. So this is also the first time she sang the song in its entirety, including the outro, which she didn't do during the Born This Way ball. Like, if you're a huge delusional fan like I am, this is super, super exciting. But the question is, why did she include this song in the set list? Does the fact that it's also from Born This Way mean anything?
I have to say something. Say what you will about jazz and piano. I know a lot of us drag it for filth, but if you watch that performance, that is fucking iconic. It just, the energy, it's nostalgic. Everybody was living for it. I mean, it was everything. So I'm not a jazz and piano lover, but that performance was amazing.
Absolutely. And the growl she included in her voice and everything, like all the vocal training she's done over the past decade just made it that much better.
Absolutely.
Now, part of the reason why I see how it could be included is because Americano interpolates Mambo Italiano by Rosemary Clooney, which was on prior set lists at the Jazz and Piano show. So that might be why she chose it, because it's sort of related, but that doesn't seem very, impactful or revolutionary to me.
I'm shook. I had no idea about that.
If you listen to the beginning of Mambo Italiano and the beginning of Americano, you'll be like, that's sus.
Very sus.
Yeah, so Thursday, obviously a lot less news because we already knew the setlist changes and the hair and everything, but it was mostly notable for new outfits. She changed a lot of her outfits for the second night. I don't really know why, but she did. There was also a Twitter user, NicoleMonster23, who claims that Gaga said, "I'm just a monster in disguise" during the show. Does that mean anything to either of you?
My first Delulu self wanted to read into it, but in context, right before that, she says something along the lines of, "My fans are the famous ones," or something. So when she says monster, she's referring to
fans.
Exactly. So,
yeah,
sorry.
Well, because I'm Delulu, I heard the line from the song Monster. He's a wolf in disguise, and I've tied it to that because I have no life. But yeah, it is what it is. Not everything is going to pan out. During the performance of the song The Best Is Yet to Come, Gaga said the best is yet to come and tomorrow will be even better. So as little Delulus, we hope that meant an announcement, but it could have just been an innocent comment, although it's kind of trolly.
I mean, she knows exactly what she's doing, and she's giving the gays exactly what they don't want right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably what she meant, is, the show is just starting and you're going to enjoy the show and drink a lot. Tomorrow, I'm referring to sarcastically because you'll be puking in the toilet from all the alcohol.
At the time of recording, it's 11:33 my time, which I believe that is 2 hours ahead is Eastern time, so 1:30 Eastern. I'm Delulu enough to believe that an announcement for a lead single could still come today.
Ciao.
Sure, Jan.
You in danger, girl.
No, I'm serious. I firmly believe that the single is going to be announced later today. And the more I say this out loud, the more of a clown I feel like I am. But hey, I said it and I believe it, and I'm going to stand by that. Even if I upload this way later tonight and it's not announced, I'm still going to hold that to my chest. So anyways, enough about me, you guys.
Insert Trisha Paytas crying gif here.
Anyway, perhaps the biggest fan theory from Thursday night concerns a Twitter post Gaga herself made about there being the last 8 jazz shows until ... next time, misspelled, 4 dots. Now, L Monster Reacts on Twitter kind of saw something in this caption. They noted 7 words, 7 dots, 7 letters in next time, because it's spelled as one word with only 1 T. And 7 jazz shows are left, supposedly, before, it happened, because this was posted before the actual Thursday show.
And it was posted at 7 p.m. her time.
Shut up.
I noticed that too earlier this morning.
Yeah, so it seems very 77777.
Lucky 777, as we know, Vegas. That is the, Grand Slam? What do you call that there when you win big?
Jackpot.
Yeah, that's the jackpot. So my headcanon right now.
Someone's a native English speaker. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, like I said, this is just a headcanon. I want to see this develop. And this is why I believe certain things in my Delulu brain. But Vegas 7 seems important. So can we expand on that anymore?
LG7. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but I should just say it.
7 in Christianity is the number of completion.
Ooh.
And 777 is the heaven numbers or whatever.
Bling. That's interesting. That is very interesting.
I have a mind of a master, whatever it is.
Mastermind. The mind of a mastermind.
So those were kind of the latest rumors and speculation we've noticed lately. But on to the actual news.
Thank you from the studio. Gaga's stylist, Nicola Formichetti, kind of hinted at the next era, the LG7 era, in Paper Magazine recently. He stated, I can't say anything, so I'm going to dance around everything except that. But it's going to be an amazing year for Gaga. I'm excited to be part of all the stuff that she's doing. Now, 2 things I noticed in this, because I'm Delulu and read into stuff. He used dance around, which a lot of fans have speculated are the words that led into the Dance in the Shadow snippet at the end of the Chromatica tour, ball, film, whatever order those words normally go in. So there might be a reference to that. It kind of makes sense if you were going to reference anything, it would be the snippet that's actually officially out. And does anyone else have anything to say about that?
In my opinion, he is not a native English speaker, and so to choose the words dance around, I think is very specific and intentional, but I'm also delusional, so.
We're all delusional. That's why I mentioned it. I don't think anyone else would have cared about that.
That's why I made this podcast.
There you go. Now, the second thing, when he says it's going to be an amazing year for Gaga, does he mean an amazing 2024, in which case we should expect something rather soonish if she wants to do an album cycle and a movie cycle and, everything by December 31st? Or does it mean an amazing next 12 months leading into June of 2025, in which case RIP all of the little Delulus?
I gotta say something here, because we have been through the ringer this year. In the beginning of the year, we had Blade, the Flop Insider, saying February 2024. Someone else said it's going to be a hard year for OGH, obsessed Gaga haters. We're now almost to July, and we have Chromatica Ball film, we have Joker trailer, but So I'm hoping he means the next 12 months. But several of her people have continued to insinuate, oh, it's going to be a great year for Gaga, great year for her. And I mean, that's great, but what about her fans?
Yeah, like, don't tease us, just give it to us.
We're all here for her music. Like, we love her other projects, but the main thing that we all connected with her to was her music. And the year's half over. Where's the music? Sorry, but yeah, I'm getting kind of impatient here.
Yes, exactly.
So our actual news is quite limited still, but it's not the end there because we have theories to live off of. Now I'm going to hand it over to Cal and Bling to talk about all the latest theories in LG7 world.
Right, thank you, Billy. So the first topic that we're going to touch on are theories related to the musician Prince and, relatedly, the Batman universe. Take it away, Bling.
Okay, so we've got to connect the dots here because there is a lot that's happened over the last 6 months, and we are going to break it down post by post, date by date, and get really fucking delusional. So get your seatbelts on. Starting with the Prince and Batman universe theory. So it should be noted that in 1989, Prince, I believe it was his 6th album, did a Batman-themed album to accompany the film. So that will come into play a lot more. So, for example, one of the very first studio posts we got this year was Gaga wearing a Joker shirt in studio. Could be harmless. She got the part. She likes the shirt, whatever. Let's see if there's more connections. So another thing that should be noted with the early 2024 studio posts is the choice of purple lighting. So we noted that 2 times in each month, so January, February, March, there were 6, 7 posts with this light violet purple lighting casting throughout the studio. It could be said that this is a calming light, this is just a light that they like, but you have to realize that purple is Prince's favorite color, obviously, and he, in a lot of his shows and outfits, use the color purple. He has an entire album, movie, and song called Purple Rain, which brings us to the Purple Rain poster that was displayed in a since and quickly taken down post by James King, which you guys touched on last episode. So the post features Gaga with James King and 2 other people. One, I believe, is Andrew Watt, and one is her music manager or something like that. But you can clearly see the Prince Purple Rain poster in the background. James King actually references the Prince poster, something about Prince being cheeky, etc., calling the record he's doing for Gaga, quote, bananas. We don't have a bananas theory. There were no other fruits involved, so take that as you will. That Prince Purple Rain poster post was February 4th, so we're still in the beginning of the year. So in addition to those Prince references, somewhere in March, a fan commented on one of Gaga's posts, "We need you to come back." Almost immediately, Gaga replied, "Sexy never left." Now, why is this a Prince reference, you may ask? Well, Prince is very infamous being quoted as saying "sexy never left" in his kind of behind-the-scenes beef with Justin Timberlake, because Justin had a song called "Sexy Back," and at one of his shows, Prince said "sexy never left." So you can connect the dots there.
And Justin's in prison, and that's not that sexy. So
Right.
He was arrested but then released.
Unsexiness is back on the street then. So anyways.
Stream Britney Spears Criminal. Also, in March 6th, I believe it was a story, not an actual post, but an Instagram story where Gaga uploaded her holding a bat gummy. And the caption said, "Me if I were a gummy." How is this related to Prince, you may ask? Obviously, he did the Batman soundtrack, and that post also featured the purple lighting. Coming towards the end of our Prince theory, this may or may not be a clue, but Andrew Watt was recently in June photographed with a Batman hat, which was later taken down. And he also shared a Prince video to a Billy, what was it? Like some kind of studio or something? I don't know.
So basically, he shared the video. It was to Prince's Special Olympics performance in the early 90s. It was him performing, I don't remember which song it was, but it was from that performance.
It was Purple Rain.
Ooh.
Oh, it was Purple Rain.
Yeah, I remember you found that out, yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, so my memory again. But anyways, yeah, Purple Rain, he was in that purple and yellow suit, I believe it was. He was doing his...
That's Prince for you.
So guys, I'm counting 6, 7, maybe 8, maybe close to 10 Prince references between the lighting, her comments, the post that was taken down. What do you guys think about all this?
Prince is obviously a very important factor somewhere in the album. My personal belief is he's not a full album theme. He might just be an individual song, but that's just in my head.
Right, and I think the fact that Gaga is hypothetically releasing LG7 close to her being in the Joker movie kind of correlates to Prince doing the Batman album in 1989. So she might have seen some similarity there and taken some inspiration from him or his style or something. So our second topic has to do with references to alchemy.
So in the final interlude for the Chromatica Ball, we all know that Gaga performs I believe it's a poem that she wrote.
A sonnet, yeah.
Oh, pardon me, I'm illiterate. A sonnet. I believe it's called Sonnet for a Night. I wanted to particularly quote this section. Through alchemy, the artist's mind amazed. A labyrinth of souls make joy and plight. So the key words there are alchemy and labyrinth of souls. So could labyrinth of souls equal hell? When we look at the definition of physical alchemy, it's turning metals into gold. When we look at spiritual alchemy, it's typically defined as the art of inner transformation, inner liberation, change, growing beyond fears and limiting belief systems. Fast forward to May 23rd, the night of the LA premiere of Chromatica Ball film, Gaga posted a poem for a monster. And these two particular lines I found riveting. I found a way back to myself again with different tones and metals I could bend. So in the sonnet, we have alchemy, which is defined as turning metals into gold. And she says, metals I could bend.
Definite alchemy reference right there.
Absolutely. In the Chromatica Ball film premiere interviews, I couldn't find the exact interview, but I remember her speaking specifically about, she said something along the lines of, tonight is the ending of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. It's the end of telling myself old stories, old beliefs. You know, as we all saw, I mean, she looked incredible. Her vibe was just very healed, and she just seemed very mature and mentally calm.
So you mentioned Labyrinth of Souls as a reference possibly to hell. And there's a number of other thematic references to hell or the Antichrist, religious themes. Do you want to go over those?
Absolutely. So the recent Jazz and Piano show, she's quoted as saying, I don't need prayers, I'm going to hell. And we also touched on earlier the scene in Joker where someone yells at her, you're going to hell. She kisses her, says, now we both are. So how does this relate to LG7, you may ask? So if you go back to the Chromatica Ball interlude, the Sonnet for a Night, it depicts a journey through a labyrinth of souls, which is eerily similar to Dante's Inferno and Paradiso. Also, that could tie in with the possible black and white heart references. She wore one black outfit to the Chromatica Ball. She wore one white outfit to the Chromatica Ball. Try saying that 10 times fast. In reference to Dante's Paradiso, you reach heaven, where the Garden of Eden is. Do you guys want to touch on Eden, Garden of Eden, anything like that?
Well, we all know there's a lot about the Garden of Eden recently.
Hint, 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 hint.
Okay. So for anyone who has been living under a Katy Perry rock,
we're just going to keep on blasting her through this entire fucking podcast.
Every episode.
Or
Katy.
I just want to bring some, kick to the podcast. That's my job, I guess. So if you have been living under a Katy Perry rock, there was a copyright takedown for one of the leaks, and it included shout out to Gaga Daily user Hello Hangovers, who received the notice saying Lady Gaga Garden of Eden at the bottom of the notice. How is that related to the Garden of Eden? Well, on May 24th, Gaga uploaded her look for the Met Gala that she did not attend, entitled Gimp of the Garden. Also, on the Garden of Eden topic, Gaga has had several posts with rose emojis. May not be related at all. However, it should be noted that there's a variety of rose called an Eden rose, which is mostly white except the center, which is pink.
I would show you guys a picture, but this is a podcast, so.
Yeah, I already Google imaged it. That's how I knew that.
So this is where it gets kind of weird. So there are numerous references or posts of Gaga looking down. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Mhm.
So January 8th, February 8th, and 3 times in March, she has posts where she's looking down, several of them. She has her hand on her chin as if she's what? Thinking. Why is this noteworthy, you may ask? Well, this could possibly pointing to a reference, and I'm going to let Cal correctly pronounce this person's name. To me, it's Rodin, but Cal, how would you pronounce it?
Rodin.
There you go. So you guys know that statue, The Thinker, right? It's the guy who's sitting, elbow on his knee, hand on his chin, thinking. Why is this related, right? Well, it's originally part of a larger sculptural group called The Gates of Hell, which depicts a scene from none other than Dante's Inferno. What do you guys think of that? Are we being Delulu, or is she purposely doing this?
I think we're hellbound right now.
Very funny. I mean, I think even if it is like completely coincidental, it's still a fun theory to believe in. And what's even greater about the Gates of Hell sculptural group is that it was originally made to be installed over a doorway. So it literally is calling the doors it's installed over, the Gates of Hell. There's a couple other things that kind of relate to hell and everything like that. Do you want to talk about that, Bling?
Sure. In one of the earlier posts from January 10th, I believe it was a story. She's in the studio, and it's captioned, "If anyone asks, I'm at church." The iconic February 8th response to "Where is LG7?" Gaga responded, "In a vault guarded by the red demon emoji, or the Japanese Oni."
Correct.
Oh, look at me go. So
More connections to hell, potentially.
exactly. So that "in a vault guarded by" has been quoted and mocked, and it's one of her most iconic teases, in my opinion. Our next little tidbit could totally be reading into, on February 16th, Gaga was pictured getting into her boyfriend's Cybertruck. Why is this related to this theory? Well, there is a Cerberus sticker on the back of the Cybertruck, and what is Cerberus, you may ask? Cerberus is the 3-headed dog that guards the gates of hell. Now, we now know that all of the Cybertrucks of this model do have that sticker, so it may not be worth reading into. I highly doubt Gaga's boyfriend wanted to participate in her cryptic album teasing, but you never know, right?
Mm-hmm. And we all thought it was related to Fortnite because at the same time, there were leaks for the next season that had Cerberus and this ancient Greek mythology as its whole entire core there. And it turns out we're like, oh, yes, Fortnite, Gaga, coming. And she did come, but nothing to do with her album or Cerberus or hell.
Chow, February and March were dark times for us little monsters.
So thematically appropriate.
I feel like it's still dark, but go off.
In response to someone tweeting her, "Look me in the eyes and tell me everything's going to be all right," Gaga responds, in all caps, "It's gonna be hell," on May 25th. So that brings us to the end of our potential hell theory. What do you guys think?
I think it's the most exciting theory.
Not only is it the most exciting, but it appears to be very commonly referenced in all of the possible references and theories that you mentioned are cohesive. I do think that all of the hell references, there's so many of them, and she did it so often over months. I mean, call me Delulu, but I think there's definitely a cohesive theory here with some oomph behind it.
The most reliable theory, anyway, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I have to just say here that I'm very curious what direction she's going to go with this, because if it is in fact involved in the album, you know, we've all discussed on Gaga Daily and in the Discord that from 2014 to arguably 2019, Gaga had a huge redemption era. You know, the craziness of art pop. She had to get back in the good graces of the public, so she did Cheek to Cheek with Tony. She did the tribute era with her vocal peak, in my opinion. Got the Golden Globe for American Horror Story. She did Joanne, A Star is Born, etc. And then, you know, most recently she did Hold My Hand, which was for Top Gun, which, you know, is more of a conservative America targeted film. So I'm just curious, is she going to go all the way with this hell stuff, given that it is kind of controversial? But as we talked about before, they've noticed that her dark themed music and imagery is what's getting a renaissance right now, if you will.
Mm-hmm. It's like a back to her roots type of deal with all this kind of typical Gaga darkness theme that happened years ago.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the final large group of things theory is, I think, one of the more obvious ones if you watch the Chromatica Ball Tour film, which is the moon. All of the moon references.
So the Chromatica Ball starts with a moon. The moon then explodes. On the LED screens at the actual tour, in between interludes, there were moons casted on the screens. Throughout several times throughout the show, you know, she said something about the moon. Look at that beautiful moon. At the very end, before the LG7Ts, she said "Goodnight Moon." And it should be noted that Twitter user Waves Never Seen, who gave me the insight on the Dante's Inferno connections, noted that the first sphere in Dante's Paradiso is what? The moon. So there was also this, maybe you guys can help me with this one, like last year at some point, there was like a moon screensaver or some type of image in place on one of her websites. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yes, the Brazilian website. But it's interesting because it was a full moon over the water and it was on like ladygaga.br for Brazil or something. But this was well before any LG7 theories came out.
Yeah, I didn't see that, so...
I remember this being sometime in like 2023.
So those are all the moon references that we could think of. But there's a couple other sort of random things that she said that might be worth inspecting.
Right, so she's saying, put your hands up towards the moon. Is she saying, put your hands up in like a religious thing? Is she saying, put your hands up just because that's what she says during every single concert 40 million times?
Yeah, it's sort of hard to tell, but the fact that, I mean, she could have edited around her saying that constantly. But she chose to basically include it as much as she possibly could, which is a little strange. Like, I think it was in there over 60 times. Like, good God, girl, get a grip.
So there have been rumors based on Gaga following certain people in the industry, them following Gaga back, certain people in the industry liking certain posts. So one of those people is Mark Romanek. I may totally be getting that name wrong, but he's the Nine Inch Nails Closer music video director. He directed the iconic Bedtime Stories music video for Madonna. And all of his imagery is very otherworldly, if I could just use one word. It's very cerebral. So he had liked one of her posts and they also followed each other back. There was also a rumor that Mark Romanek, or however you say his name, was scouting asylums in Mexico for a visual project, potentially for Gaga. What do you guys think about that?
I would like to see it.
Come on, Gaga. We're waiting. But yeah, that was, I think, on the dates for that were June 11th and 12th, if I remember correctly.
So it would have been done by now, theoretically, except we have no evidence that Gaga went to Mexico, so... yeah.
Personally, I, as a huge fan of Nine Inch Nails, I am very hyped for this. I've wanted, ever since Gaga did the Fame Monster in the Dark Era, I was like, this is giving me Nine Inch Nails pop. I would, honestly, she could retire from music if she did like a Trent Reznor collaboration or a Nine Inch Nails dark visual era. That's just my personal opinion.
Yep, no, I can see that. Having Gaga go into this more grungy, dark, rockish, dark wave, even post-punk era is something I've been longing for so long. And it feels like we could be close to that. I doubt we're going to get those genres specifically, maybe a blend of some of them. But if we get any of them, I would be so pleased.
So just the last thing on that, in the Closer music video, I mean, it's wild. There is a monkey on a cross, like a crucifix. There's naked women in bondage. There's people in cages. I mean, it's wild, wild stuff. So if that's the route Gaga's going, I'm here for it 1,000%. And I know our Discord user Starcell is here for it too.
Who?
Bitch.
Sorry, no.
Bitch.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Starcell. I know exactly who you are.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wow.
Yeah, sure, John.
We love you, Starcell.
Whoever you are. No.
So, you know.
And that kind of leads us into the next area here, which is the special project. With all of this stuff developing, my personal belief, and like I said, I'm not going to go spill into this because this could be its own podcast episode at one point or at some point in the future.
Yeah, that the special project post was back in June or July of 2023 when she was talking about editing the Chromatica Ball film. So she also has a post where she's taking a selfie outside of Shangri-La Studios in summer of 2023. So I personally believe this album has been under works, or this project has been under works for a lot longer than we know. We also noted that a lot of her posts in January through March were old posts, or they were old pictures. Can you guys touch on that? Because I definitely noticed that.
I mean, I don't know. It just reminds me of Madonna's hashtag secret project from years ago now, I guess, which was only like a 10-minute weird ad kind of thing.
It was like a political thing, right?
Something.
Oh, I have a vague memory of this. Yeah, people getting hyped for it, but then it turned out it wasn't really that exciting.
Yeah, it was not.
Gaga better deliver after all of this time, and I'm certain she will. Like, she is Lady Gaga. But I think all this anticipation and waiting just kind of makes people naturally nervous. That's all.
And delusional.
Very delusional, much so.
Because if you don't have the information, then your brain tries to come up with the information that you're craving.
And speaking of delusional, how would you guys think about The Weeknd or Peggy Gou or Caroline Polachek, if I'm saying that right, being on the album? Because they are rumored as possible collaborations.
Work.
Personally, I could do without the Weeknd collaboration. I was even weary about her doing an Ari collaboration. It turned out to be iconic, but I don't know. Even though Gaga has mainstream success, she's just so different. I know that her and Abel or The Weeknd are on the same label, and they're cordial, but I don't know. Just his vibe is very like Playboy, I'm gonna all these bitches type thing. So a potential collaboration with Peggy Gou, who is this huge house producer. I personally have been wanting her to work with more female producers. So that would be exciting. Caroline Polachek. Caroline Polachek followed Gaga. She followed back. That's where that rumor comes from. A lot of people love Caroline Polachek. She's sort of like an Imogen Heap cross between what? What would you guys say? Do you guys know Caroline Polachek?
No.
No.
Oh. Well, So she's kind of a cross between like Imogen Heap and I don't know. I don't have the reference, but
Another person who's not Imogen Heap.
right. The one rumored collaborator that you did not mention that I'm personally very excited for is Gesaffelstein, who I believe is a French DJ and producer. And my God, his beats, his imagery, in my personal opinion, it's everything that I have wanted from her. It's dark, it's industrial. I believe she used one or two of his songs for the House Labs ads a couple years ago. Also, it was rumored that the Frankenstein LG5 track featured Gesaffelstein's song. I'm going to mispronounce this, but it's Viol. It's V as in Victor, I-O-L.
Viol. I'm probably, out of all of them, most excited for the possibility of Gesaffelstein being on the album, featured in some way. He, like you said, he makes the more dark, industrial, hard-hitting kind of music that we've wanted from Gaga for a long while, and so I'm excited.
No, me too. His song Blast Off with Pharrell has been in my top 20 since 2019, every single year.
Oh, wow.
So check that song out if you guys haven't. Amazing song. If LG7 sounds remotely like that, I would be pleased.
All right, so there's only a couple things left. All of them were pretty minor, reference to last episode. And those are basically three sort of random quotes that don't appear to be related to too much else. Well, actually, the first one could be related to alchemy. Do you want to talk about that, Boing?
Sure. So, again, another one of Gaga's posts and teases that has been mocked relentlessly is magic potions take time, on February 8th in response to asking where LG7 is. Magic potions could feed into the alchemy. It could feed into the kind of occult themes that we've been seeing. Also, it should be noted on March 21st, our first actual tease of potential lyrics for LG7. Gaga posted a photo that included a typewriter. Everything on the typewriter, the words were marked out except for tap on my vein. Very cryptic. Also, that same day, March 21st, Gaga posted a very awkward video of her walking up to the camera from, I don't know, elsewhere in the park, titled Hollywood's a Ghost Town. Any thoughts on those two?
Well, for me, the Tap on My Vein lyrics are very reminiscent of the first verse of Applause. I found the vein put it in here. I'm not entirely sure if that's intentional. That's what it brought up in my mind.
Billy?
No, I have no connections there, sorry.
Okay.
At least you're honest.
Billy had been off the Discord for a minute, and she posted that, and I immediately texted Billy to his personal cell phone, and I was like, we have actual lyrics!
And then that's when we thought shit was coming so soon. And here we are 3 months later again.
So I feel like, I mean, those are the main themes we've seen teased. If we left anything out, feel free to let us know. But there's definitely something Prince related, hell or religion, alchemy, something with the moon. What do you guys think?
Yeah, if I was going to tell anyone to take anything away from this, it is that the main theme around this album seems to be something to do with heaven and or hell, and all of the things surrounding that. Whatever that turns out to be, I am super thrilled, especially for the collaborators there too.
And in my mind, the one thing we can take away from it is that we're all really delusional.
Yeah, I mean, we literally just been talking for the past hour on all delusional stuff, by the way. Yeah, literally
Scraps.
just scraps that we're ingesting and trying to have any sustenance on.
I would like the world to know that I made a 2.5-page script treatment for this episode. 2.5 pages based on basically nothing concrete.
But we did it, and we laid it all out for you. So hopefully you can take that and you can form your own ideas and theories.
Except there's one more thing. Bling.
Okay, the time has come. The moment you all have been waiting for, the exclusive tea that we received, confirmed from Gaga's team. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes?
So the House of Delulu exclusive is that we can confirm 100% that the girlfriend snippet is in fact real, is Gaga, period.
Wow. Wow, leave me in the dark. Cool.
I would be more excited, but I knew this yesterday, so...
Love it.
Oh my god, I just realized you didn't know yet.
Oh, that's right. He had no idea.
I learned when you first said it in the call.
Oh my
no,
god.
I found out when you said so. My drag, right?
So we don't know if this track is on LG7. We don't know if it's the lead single. We do know that it is Gaga herself. It's not AI. Up until this point, we were just relying on copyright takedowns. We had no confirmation of anything. So if you were lucky enough to hear the girlfriend snippet, that is your first exclusive taste of new Gaga music. Will we ever see the rest of it? Who knows? But it should be noted that if these snippets are coming out, the songs either leak or are released around a month or 2 months after the snippets start going around, just based on historic leaks. So basically it just means we are close to a release, but it could be tomorrow. It could be 2 months from now. It could be February of 2025, but we can at least confirm that 100% that girlfriend snippet is real. It's our first actual confirmation of anything concrete.
So if you were doubtful from the DCMAs that were taking down the girlfriend leak, well, Bling has happily confirmed that the leak is in fact real. So thank you so much, Bling, for that.
My honor.
Absolutely. And you know what? I cannot wait until we're all her girlfriend for the Wii.
For the Wii.
For the Wii. And it's spelled Wii. It's like Nintendo Wii.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Gaga's playing Wii tennis for the entire album. It's just the sounds of a ball hitting the court.
Hands up in the air for the tennis racket.
Exactly. See? We've cracked the code. I have the mind of a mastermind.
You do, Cal. This is why I appreciate you.
Thank you.
But yes, that's the end of the podcast, and that is the special news. So hopefully it's not too much of a letdown. It is still exciting that we have something there. And sorry, I almost knocked over my water bottle there. So no, it's exciting that we know something official now. And I'm excited, you guys. We have this podcast in the meantime, and this is something I'm having fun with, and I hope you guys are having fun with, and that we can just be excited until the album drops.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see what happens, and we're going to have to go from there.
Well, thanks, Cal, for doing this again here. And thank you so much, Bling, for joining us as a guest today and explaining all of the theories that have been going down and, of course, sharing that information there.
You know, I'm so honored to be here, and trust and believe, I will return. Bling returns. I will return.
I mean, he's the CEO of a Discord server that shares the same name as our podcast, so I think we're going to have to, throw him some
scraps
under the table.
Some slabs of meat, yes.
Yeah, no, like I said, thank you guys so much. This has been a very good conversation. We have a lot to work with here now and a lot to think about. So, with all the viewers here, for those of you listening and staying tuned here till the end, if you're a big fan, take this in mind, run with it. Come to the Discord server. That's www.discord.xyz, or Z for Americans, and then /House of Delulu.
Special shout out to our British babe, Steph.
But on that note, thank you so much for listening. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day, evening, or night. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.